Hey everyone, it's Hayes, and in today's video, it's finally time for another Miraculous mystery. So in the first one, we looked at how Mr. Banana came to be, and in the second one, we discovered how Tom and Sabine met and fell in love. And now, in today's video, we're going to be finding out how Audrey and Andre got together, and also why, because have you seen them? They couldn't be more different. They're only united equally in child abuse since their eyes and mouths aren't even level with each other. This video is sarcasm. If you don't understand sarcasm, please don't watch this video. So our story with Audrey and Andre begins in high school when they meet for the first time. And back then, neither of them knew they would become one of Paris's it couples. And also the couple in Paris with the most diametrically opposed head shapes. Perhaps that is the reason why they fell in love in the first place. Or rather, Andre fell in love and Audrey fell in convenience with a doormat. Enough of the insults for now. So they met at school and predictably Audrey bullied everyone, and I mean everyone, from her classmates to the teachers. Audrey wasn't nice to a single person. But because Andre revels in a good enemies to lovers romance, he was like, I can change her. And Andre lets a woman who has never been in a relationship before give you some advice that only works in books. I think, you know, to me, I would just be like, you know what, I couldn't be bothered putting in the effort to try. And also, if you have to change someone that much in order to actually be in a relationship with them, I think you've got to ask yourself if you actually even liked them in the first place. However, predictably, Audrey ignores him, but because Andre is much like other Miraculous characters who will not be named, Marina, Adrian, Andre applies to the same university as Audrey. Fortunately though, Andre isn't completely insane and doesn't decide to study fashion because he can't tell a boomerang from a shoe, and he studies media, following his passion of film and following Audrey around the campus at the same time, like the stalker he is. I swear to God, all these characters are the same at the end of the day. However, while at university, Andre needs some money. Unlike Audrey and her friends Emily and Tomaway, he doesn't have a great deal of money. So with his best friend Gaby Baby, yep, he's here too, they do some paid work at the university in the psychology department, taking part in studies as participants. So Gaby Baby gets to participate in a recreation of Pilyabin's original bystander effect study done on the New York subway system, but now they're doing it on the Paris metro, and the aspiring fashion designer gets to pretend he's drunk 4 times a day for 100 euros. It's a pretty good deal. However, Andre is not so lucky, and he is involved in Paris's answer to MK Ultra. Originally run by the CIA, MK Ultra was an illegal human experimentation program that developed drugs to be used during interrogations to weaken suspects with psychological torture and brainwashing. It is absolutely illegal. However, after personally seeing so many workmen in France completely ignoring all health and safety rules, for example, these 2 workmen who were digging up tanks at a petrol station, smoking at the exact same time, you know, which isn't good since you're doing that around a highly flammable substance. I'm aware that France doesn't really care about their self and safety, to be honest. So Andre becomes one of these brainwashing participants. So during the day, he writes and edits the first draft of his final project, the feature-length film Solitude, starring his best friend's girlfriend Emily. But in the evenings, Andre is subjected to these experiments, and he eventually falls under the control of the dean of the faculty. The dean can make him do anything, as long as he says first, Andre, be a dear. On the final shoot day of Solitude, Audrey figures this out. She's not starring in the film, obviously. However, she is on hand to help with the wardrobe, and one day she says, Andre, would you be a dear and get me a drink? And Andre does it without question. Now, don't get me wrong, Audrey has always known that Andre is a pushover, and she's also always known he's had feelings for her and that he would do anything for her. But whenever she's asked him for things in the past, his eyes didn't go glassy, like he had no control over himself. Audrey realises she stumbled into a secret, and of course, she exploits it. Andre, would you be a dear and switch from your media course to politics? Andre, would you be a dear and run for mayor of Paris? Andre, would you be a dear and marry me? Andre, would you be a dear and have sole custody of our daughter while I see another man? Audrey controls Andre for their entire relationship with one single phrase. And when she leaves for New York, Andre is left, stranded with his own thoughts, with his autonomy intact for the first time in years. Does he really love Audrey anymore? Does he want to be mayor of Paris? Does he like any of this? Of course not. And now he can break free. And in this version of the story, hopefully he doesn't let the same abusive woman take their daughter away to abuse her some more. So there you go, besties. That is the mystery solved. That is how Andre and Audrey met and whatever was going on. And hopefully he divorces her in this one as well, but takes Chloe because No. But anyway, besties, that was the full mystery solved. I'd love to know what you thought of it and what mystery you'd like to see me do next. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!